Brittney Griner really thought she could just toss out those bold comments about Caitlin Clark and walk away without facing any heat. But now, a shocking leaked photo has turned everything upside down, completely exposing a secret she hoped would stay buried. According to reports, WNBA medical staff have revealed that Griner is now receiving increased doses of estrogen, prescribed specifically to suppress testosterone levels. Sources claim this change is meant to quiet growing questions about her gender, while also helping her secure a longer, more profitable contract in the league.
We have heard nothing from the WNBA, absolutely nothing.
Brittney Griner elbowing Caitlin Clark in a crazy way and then calling her a trash white girl.
And Brittney Griner has not commented, which I find significant. I've watched that video countless times, and it sure looks like Brittney Griner says, white girl.
The WNBA should investigate Brittney Griner's seemingly uttering profanities about white girl. Brittney Griner appeared to call Caitlin Clark trash and effing white girl.
She's the Rookie of the Year. She's 4th in the league in MVP voting.
Caitlin Clark is an absolute all-star. She is the Michael Jordan of this. This is the girl that girls have been waiting for forever.
Caitlin Clark is a rising star in women's basketball. She's pulling in crazy viewership numbers.
Caitlin Clark is the needle mover.
She is the needle mover.
She is the franchise player.
And she was the MVP. She is the main draw.
She wasn't the one who was full sprinting down the court.
WNBA okay with one of its players saying white girl on the bench and getting caught by TV cameras saying such? I guess they are. I guess they're okay with it. Obviously, the league would very much not be okay with a white player saying black girl on the bench in anger and getting caught by TV cameras. That would be an immediate suspension, if not a career ender.
Right now, the entire WNBA seems stuck in full-blown panic mode, completely afraid to even touch the controversy. Why? Because calling out Brittney Griner could mean upsetting big-name sponsors who are heavily tied to promoting the LGBTQ movement. But here's the question everyone's whispering. Is the WNBA showing obvious favoritism? Are there double standards in how they handle investigations, proof of a clear bias against Caitlin Clark and the massive fan base that backs her? Funny how the tables turned. Brittney Griner has been riding comfortably, acting like her bold comments about Caitlin Clark would just blow over, like every other scandal involving the league's so-called protected stars. But now, even brave insiders from the WNBA's own medical staff are speaking out, finally pulling back the curtain on the league's unfair treatment and double standard.
For said white girl. That fucking white girl was about Caitlin Clark's popularity, about her stature, about her impact on the entire league.
She has been abused repeatedly. We have shown you videos, just getting elbowed, getting crushed, inbound passes where they ram into her, just absolutely abused, and there clearly is a racial element to it.
The WNBA has come out numerous times. There's no place for hate. There's no place for racism.
Griner referring quite clearly, I believe, to Caitlin Clark and a white referee as, quote, trash ass white girl. If you are a straight white woman in the WNBA, there is no way that you feel completely safe.
The noise that's coming.
I don't appreciate the new fans that sit there and yell racial slurs at myself, my teammates, and the people that I play against. Because yeah, those might be opponents, but those are friends too. You know, they don't deserve that. So I don't appreciate the new fans that think it's okay to do that.
Brittney Griner's usual attitude of brushing off accountability came crashing down fast. An anonymous nurse dropped a bombshell, leaking photos that left no room for doubt. The images show clearly labeled vials of estrogen hormone meds, prescription estradiol. So the question everyone's now asking is, why would Griner need to increase her estrogen dosage? Unless there's something deeper she's trying to keep out of the public eye. Let's break this down, because this scandal has more layers than a wedding cake and way more drama. It all started with a courtside incident that went viral, where Griner was caught making shady offensive remarks toward Caitlin Clark. And what did the WNBA do? Nothing. Total silence. No statement, no action. Just more of the same selective outrage. But once these photos started making the rounds online, the league suddenly hit panic mode. The estrogen vials raised serious serious questions, not just about Griner's identity, but whether her participation on the court is even fair. And here's the real issue. The WNBA is lightning fast to investigate fans who boo or heckle Caitlin Clark, but when one of their protected stars steps way out of line, crickets. It's like CSI when it's the fans. But when it's Brittney Griner, Nancy Drew's on vacation, let's be real, supporting Caitlin Clark here isn't just about liking a player, it's about demanding fairness. If the league wants to preach equality and integrity, then it's time to actually live by those values. And if you thought this estrogen leak was the final shock, buckle up. What came next is about to flip your entire view of the WNBA. So let me ask you this, what would you do if the face of your franchise was caught taking heavy hormone meds right after launching a disgusting insult at the league's biggest rising star? Would you turn a blind eye to protect your image, or would you finally take a stand and say, enough is enough?
That she reposted. And the implication is, well, what it says at the top is white, this is how they say girl, G-Y, white gal, G-Y-A-L, running from the fade, like as if Caitlin Clark is basically a...
Caitlin Clark got roughed up repeatedly by defenders throughout her rookie year last year. It was attempted bullying, trying to break her spirit, intimidate her, put her in her place, get even with her for all the attention she was getting.
She accused the Indiana Fever fan base of being racist. They investigated it. They said those accusations were false. The least that she could do is apologize to our great state and the fans that show up at these games and say, I'm sorry, I was wrong. Obviously, she's not going to do that. But also, Dan, why isn't the Indiana Fever apologizing to their own fan base for putting them through that, for going through those types of...
He stated in part, obviously, the league would not be okay with a white player saying effing black girl on the bench in anger.
WNBA without Caitlin Clark remains an attraction that not many people want to watch. Without Caitlin Clark,
is going to massively affect the WNBA.
Caitlin Clark is the closest thing that they have to quality play. The Caitlin Clark effect is very real. She is the most valuable player.
And when it comes to sponsorship money, don't think for a second that Nike and Adidas aren't frantically dialing up league executives behind closed doors, trying to figure out how to spin this mess. Whispers of emergency calls and secret meetings are spreading like wildfire, and if these sponsors start pulling out, this PR disaster could blow up into something massive, something way bigger than anyone expected. But here's the crazy part, it gets even deeper. Inside sources from the league's own medical staff are sounding the alarm. Whistleblowers are hinting that this situation might not just be about estrogen, there could be a whole mess of performance-enhancing substances buried beneath the surface. Imagine a full-on basketball version of CSI, where every locker, every prescription, every fridge in the league is cracked open and investigated. Think the WNBA is ready for that level of heat? Now buckle up, because next week there's a rumor floating around that a subpoena could land right at league headquarters, demanding Brittney Griner's full medical records and gender verification history. If those documents leak, this doesn't stay a basketball story. It becomes a political explosion. Heavyweights like Governor Braun and Senator Banks could get involved, turning a WNBA scandal into a full-blown state-level showdown. So here's the question. When the full truth finally blows up, does Brittney Griner make it out of this storm? Or is her career already circling the drain? Because what we're watching right now, it's not just drama, it's a straight up circus. And the league is twisting itself into a pretzel trying to protect Griner like she's royalty. Funny how when Brittney drops slurs and downs estrogen pills like they're Tic Tacs, the WNBA suddenly gets softer than cotton candy at a summer fair. Yeah, it sounds dramatic, but when the stakes are this high, can you really blame us? Let's look at the facts. Griner's slur aimed at Caitlin Clark sent shockwaves through the sports world. Twitter exploded. Fans were furious. Analysts called for consequences. And what did the league do? Nothing. Silence. Crickets. The message couldn't be clearer. Griner gets special treatment the rest of the league could only dream of. And just when things seem to cool off, boom! Photo leaks show estrogen prescriptions, pharmacy labels, dosage details, all with timestamps suspiciously close to the fallout from her scandal. And now the same WNBA that treats Indiana Fever fans like criminals for sneezing in the wrong direction is suddenly clueless when it comes to their stars' medical history. Come on, WNBA, really? Look, no one's saying players don't deserve medical privacy, but when insiders from your own medical team are raising red flags, it's time to stop pretending this is nothing. There's smoke and there's fire, and this one's blazing. Griner's situation isn't just questionable, it reeks like an old gym sock left in the sun. And you want irony? Remember how Angel Reese got roasted for her trash talk with Caitlin Clark? She was dragged through the mud for far less. But now Brittney Griner does something way worse, and the league acts like nothing happened. That's not just unfair, it's a double standard on steroids. So here's the real question. What is Cathy Engelbert so scared of? Losing big sponsors? Having to explain the rainbow banners? Or maybe, just maybe, it's the fear of exposing the WNBA's dirty little secret, a VIP lane for Brittney Griner while everyone else plays by the rules. Because if those estrogen prescriptions lead to more skeletons in more closets, this isn't just a scandal, it's the collapse of the WNBA's entire house of cards. And when it falls, no sponsor, no commissioner, no superstar will be safe. You've seen the receipts, the slur, the prescriptions, the league's total vanishing act. So now the million-dollar question is yours. Does Brittney Griner deserve a suspension? Should she be removed from the league entirely? Or is she immune to punishment just because her name keeps the sponsors happy? What kind of message does that send to the kid in Indiana who just bought a Caitlin Clark jersey? Or the bench warmer who got fined over a minor violation while a megastar walks free? And let's be real, how long before fans, sponsors, and networks start calling out the entire WNBA for being more rigged than a carnival basketball game? I'm passing the mic to you now. Drop your verdict in the comments. Should the league terminate her contract or sweep it all under the rug? Whether it's just 2 words or a full-on rant, I'll be reading every single comment. And if you want to stay locked in on every explosive update, whether it's that rumored subpoena landing on Cathy Engelbert's desk, sponsors jumping ship, or a whistleblower email dropping at 3 a.m., then do basketball justice a favor. Smash that like button, hit subscribe like it's a buzzer beater 3, and ring that bell so hard the algorithm waves a white flag. Because the next leak could drop tonight. The next silent statement from the league could hit tomorrow, and when it does, you'll want a front row seat. So go ahead, cast your vote, turn those notifications on, and let's keep the spotlight burning bright until the WNBA finally decides. Do the rules apply to everyone or just the players who aren't protected by superstar status? Right now, we're just 24 hours removed from that leaked locker room photo hitting the internet, and the WNBA's glass shield is cracking louder than a backboard after a two-handed slam. We've watched Brittney Griner set her own image on fire with a slur, then try to cool it off with a tidal wave of estrogen prescriptions. We've seen league officials go ghost, hiding in PR panic rooms while sponsors quietly panic over what's next. And we've tracked whistleblowers preparing subpoenas that could turn online gossip into courtroom evidence. Let's be real, if the league keeps tiptoeing around hormone prescriptions while hammering other players for the smallest rule breaks, then the whole idea of competitive integrity collapses faster than a Jenga tower in an earthquake. Right now, Caitlin Clark's presence is carrying ticket sales on her back. She's boosting local economies, driving TV ratings, and growing the fan base across the country. But all of that hanging by a thread. Because if the WNBA's foundation cracks, every success story tied to it is at risk of falling apart with it. And don't forget the cultural impact. The next time a middle school kid asks why some stars get punished while others don't, what's Commissioner Engelbert supposed to say? Because if that subpoena drops and Brittney Griner's gender verification records see the light of day, we're not talking about just another scandal. We're talking about a bombshell that could eclipse anything women's sports has ever faced. The clock is ticking. The WNBA either steps up with a real investigation, one without bias or favorites, or they stay silent and gamble it all, hoping fans move on. But fans don't forget. Sponsors definitely don't forget. And history never forgets. A league that chose rainbow optics over fair competition. So now it's your turn. The next move from the league might depend on just how loud your voice gets in that comment section. What's your verdict? Drop it below.